Hello?
Today's Daf Yomi, you may notice we're in a different spot. That's because it's New Year's.
Yeah, we're gonna go out soon.
All right, time for Bava Kamma 59. Am I going to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. If the animal ate the... Well, let's go back. Oh my gosh, it started at the beginning of a sentence. That never happens.
And it looks like we even started at a new thought entirely.
Wow, wild. Okay, if the animal ate the grapes while they were still in the budding stage, Rabbi Yehoshua says the court views the grapes that were damaged as if they were grapes about to be picked, and appraise the damage based on this. And the rabbis say the court views how much the vineyard was worth before the animal ate the grapes and how much it is worth now. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Shimon, in what case is this statement that the court appraises the vineyard or a group of trees that were damaged said? It is when the animal ate the young branches, luleve gefanim, of the vines, or shoots of fig trees, but where it ate unripe figs or unripe grapes, the court views them and appraises them as if they were grapes ready to be picked.
So somehow they're talking about damages of... Again, weren't we still talking about this like 3 days ago? Animals eating stuff? Abaye continues. In any event, it teaches that the rabbis say the court views how much the vineyard was worth before the animal ate the produce and how much it is worth now, and it does not teach that the court appraises the damage relative to an area 60 times greater.
That's good.
Okay.
Not relative to an area 60 times greater.
Rather, what have you to say? You must say that the wording employed by the Baraita to be understood to mean that the court appraises the damage relative to an area 60 times greater, so here too, in the Baraita dealing with one who himself causes damage, the wording is to be understood to mean that the damage is valued relative to an area 60 times greater.
One who himself causes the damage has to pay 1/60th of it?
No, the value relative to an area 60. So it's not 1/60th of it, but rather how it would compare if it were 60 times greater than what it's not 1/60th, but yes.
But it says one who himself causes the damage versus someone else's animal.
Oh.
Did the animal eat a multiplier of 60? What happened?
Normally, it's like if it's your own damage, it's your damage. Like, no one's going to pay you for what you damaged.
Yeah.
Wait, go back up to that beginning of that one. Rather, what have you... You must say that the wording employed...
The court appraises the damage relative to
dealing with one who himself causes damage. The word is to be understood to mean that the damage is valued relative to an area. Okay, so somehow you're getting paid even though it's you did the damage. Abaye said... Or no, it's your turn. Never mind.
Oh, Abaye said, Rabbi Yosei Haglili and Rabbi Ishmael both said the same thing. They are of the same opinion that the appraisal for the damage is based on the value of the produce remaining in the field once it ripens.
The opinion of Rabbi Yosei HaGalili is that we stated above in the Baraita, that the damages paid for an animal eating unripe grain is assessed according to what remains of the grain.
Okay. The opinion of Rabbi Ishmael is as it is taught in a Baraita. The verse states, "The best of his field and the best of his vineyard he shall pay," which means he must pay according to the best quality field of the injured party or the best quality vineyard of the injured party. This is the statement of Rabbi Ishmael. Rabbi Akiva says the verse comes only to allow injured parties to collect compensation from the superior quality land of the one liable to pay for the damage, and by an a fortiori inference.
You said a lot.
It is derived that this applies to consecrated property. Compensation for damaging consecrated property is paid for one's best quality assets.
That makes sense. I'm still not surprised that person gets money. And do not say that Rabbi Yishmael's statement should be interpreted in accordance with the opinion of Rav Edi Bar Avin, as Rav Edi Bar Avin says, here it concerns a case where the animal ate the produce of one garden bed from among several garden beds, but we do not know whether the garden bed it ate from was lean or choice. Therefore, the verse says to the owner of the animal, arise and pay choice land, equivalent to the best quality land that there is now remaining, and the court does not assume that the animal ate produce from the lesser quality garden bed, as we do not say this.
What is the reason that Rabbi Yishmael does not hold in accordance with the opinion of Rav Idi bar Avin? It is because he accepts the principle that the burden of proof rests upon the claimant. Without such proof, the owner of the animal pays only the value of the lesser quality garden bed. Rather, Rabbi Yishmael interprets the Torah's expression, the best of his field, as requiring payment with the best quality land before him. And what is this? It is that which remained in the field and subsequently sprouted, and the compensation is based off the value of this.
Quality land before him.
The Gemara
of what's left.
The Gemara examines the Baraita. The master said, Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Shimon, I'm glad he says in the name of Rabbi Shimon, in what case is this statement that the court appraises the vineyard a group of trees,
or a group of trees,
that were damaged said, it is when the animal ate young branches of vines or shoots of fig trees. The Gemara comments says this indicates that if the animal ate budding grapes, the court views them and appraises them as if they were grapes ready to be picked. But say and try and explain accordingly the latter clause of the Baraita, which teaches that if the animal ate unripe figs or half-ripe grapes, that is where the court views them as if they were grapes ready to be picked, indicating that if the animal ate the grapes in the budding stage, the court views how much the vineyard was worth before the animal ate them and how much it is worth now. Therefore, the two clauses of the Baraita appear to be contradictory.
I don't think so, because they're both still talking about things where it was before its time or something.
Well, they're talking about it if they're like
ate unripe figs or half-ripe grapes. It views them as if they were ready to be picked, and they said that with the other one too. Just about ready to be picked. How much it was worth before the animal ate, how much is
that's
worth
the latter
now.
clause, but the first one. Hold on, the first clause.
Branches of vines or shoots of fig trees. This indicates the animal ate budding grapes, and the court views them as if they were ready to be picked.
As if they're grapes ready to be picked. But if they're half ripe, the other one says that it's not about, okay, so it's not the damage of the actual grapes. In one case, they're saying it's the damage of fully ripe grapes. In the other case, it's saying the damage
is
according to the...
one is branches and vines, and the other one is actually half-ripe grapes.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's the difference. Ravina said, bind them together and teach them as a single statement as follows. In what case is this statement said that the court appraises how much the field was worth when the animal ate from it? It is said in the case where the animal ate young branches of vines or shoots of fig trees. But if it ate grapes in the budding stage, unripe figs or half-ripe grapes, the court views them and appraises them as
That's
if
exactly
they were
how you did it.
picked.
Like, it's different things.
Yeah, but still they're giving the same announcement, like the part about how much to pay based on your quality and stuff like that.
The Gemara asks, if so, the opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda is identical to the opinion of Rabbi Yehoshua with regard to grapes in the budding stage. Why would the Mishnah state their opinions separately?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
The Gemara answers there's a difference between them with regard to the weakening of the vine. A vine is weakened by the grapes growing on it as they draw nutrients from the roots and branches. Now that the grapes have been eaten, the vine is no longer weakened. Therefore, according to the opinion, the court takes into consideration this reduction of the weakening of the vine, and the amount is deducted when calculating the damages, whereas according to the other opinion, the court does not take this into account. But the respective opinions are not defined, and it is not clear which Tana takes this weakening into account and which does not.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very fun trying to read from this far away. I'm good except for the italics.
Abaye said, their respective opinions are certainly defined, and it is possible to know which sage held which opinion, since who is the Tana who is concerned for the weakening of the vine? It is Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda. As it is taught in a Baraita, Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Menasya, with regard to the indemnity payments that a rapist must pay his victim who had been a virgin, he does not pay compensation for the pain caused by the rape. This is due to the fact that she will ultimately suffer the same pain during her sexual intercourse with her husband when she marries.
This is incorrect.
Not a win for the woman.
This is not a win for the woman, and also biologically not factual. Thank you.
The rabbi said to him, "The pain of a woman who has intercourse willingly is not comparable to the pain of a woman
Thank
who
you.
has intercourse by rape." Okay, there you go.
The rest of the rabbis disagreed. We love that.
Who was say Shimon ben Manasseh? Okay, move it up a little bit.
Oh,
Rabbi
yes.
Shimon ben Yehuda considers future pain when considering payment of damages, and similarly, he considers the reduced weakening of the vine.
Okay, I'm glad that the rabbis spoke up about that. Good
job,
job.
rabbis.
Good job, rabbis.
It's a win for the rabbis.
A win for the rabbis. All right, Abaye said, these Tanaim following, and Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda said the same thing concerning this matter. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda said this ruling that we said with regard to the case of rape and the case of the vine. As to these other Tanaim, what is the case about which they gave a similar ruling?
This is as it is taught in the Braita concerning the halacha of one who injured a pregnant woman, thereby causing her to miscarry, for which the Torah holds him liable to pay her husband compensation.
Yes.
Rabbi Yossi said, the court appraises the compensation for the miscarried offspring and deducts the amount they would have paid if it were paid for a midwife. A midwife. Since she miscarried, the husband no longer has to pay for the midwife, so that is deducted from the compensation. Ben Azai says, the courts deducted the value of the extra sustenance the husband would have been required to provide for his pregnant wife.
No, you're not pregnant anymore. You can just eat regular bread. You don't need, like, a bread and a half.
Oh my god.
You don't need a midwife.
The one who says that the court appraises the compensation for the miscarried offspring less the amount they would have paid for a midwife would all the more so concede that the appraisal is less the value of the extra sustenance. But the one who says that the appraisal is less the value of the extra sustenance does not necessarily hold that the court appraises the compensation for the miscarried offspring less the money they would have paid for a midwife, since the husband can say to the assailant, "My wife is capable and does not require a midwife to assist her while giving birth."
True.
Okay. Wow, that's a progressive husband, I guess.
Returning.
She can do it on her own.
Yeah.
Stop stepping on her toes.
Returning to the discussion of the appraisal of compensation for the damage, the Gemara relates, Rav Papa and Rav Huna, son of Rav Yehoshua, acted in accordance with the opinion of Rav Nachman and appraised the damaged date palm relative to an area 60 times greater than the particular area where the tree was standing.
A different version of this halacha is also stated. Rav Papa and Rav Huna, son of Rav Yehoshua, appraised the damage caused to a date palm relative to the assessment of the patch of land where the tree stood, i.e., how much it was worth with the tree and how much it was worth without it.
Okay. The Gemara concludes, and the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rav Papa and Rav Huna, son of Rav Yehoshua, with regard to an Aramean date palm, i.e., one of lesser quality.
Wow.
You think of the Monty Python sparrow thing.
That's exactly.
And it is assessed relative to the land, but the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of the exilarch, I don't know what that is, with regard to a Persian date palm, as they are of higher quality, and each one is valuable, and it is not assessed relative to the land.
Oh, interesting.
That's not fair.
The Gemara relates, Eliezer Ze'era was wearing black shoes, unlike the Jewish custom of that time, and standing in the market of Nechardea. I would like to actually read it, yes. Nechardea, perfect.
Okay.
Officials of the house of the exilarch found him and said to him, "What is different about you that causes you to wear these shoes?" He said to them, "I am wearing them because I am in mourning over the destruction of the temple of Jerusalem, and so I wear black shoes, as is the custom of mourners." They said to him, "Are you a man of such importance to publicly mourn over Jerusalem?" They thought that it was simply presumptuous on his part. Since he was acting against the prevalent Jewish custom, they brought him to the prison and incarcerated him.
So,
publicly mourning.
Change
Guys!
topics in total.
Okay, pausing for a moment because I haven't seen what Miriam Zovin has done yet, the great illustrious Miriam Zovin. But guaranteed, if she doesn't bring this up as some part of like fashion crimes,
I know, or like I'm not allowed to grieve in my way, and like we're all sad for the temple. How can you be sadder than the rest of us?
Exactly. Oh, gosh, I really hope she does. I really want that. Okay.
Eliezer Ze'era said to them, "I am a great man, a scholar, and it is fitting for me to mourn publicly over the destruction of Jerusalem." Yeah, sure. They said to him, "How do we know that you are a scholar?" He said to them, "Either you ask me Ask me of a matter of halakha, and I will answer you. Or I will ask you a matter of halakha, and you will answer me. They said to him, you ask.
Ooh.
How dare you to be better than us. He said to them, with regard to one who cuts a cluster of flowers on the stem of a date palm belonging to another, what is he required to pay? They said to him, he pays the value of the date stem. He said to them, but ultimately they will become ripe dates, which are worth more. They said to him, if so, he pays the value of the future dates. He said to them, but he did not take ripe dates from the other person, so how can the court obligate him to pay for damage that he did not cause?
They said to him, Eliezer Zaira, you tell us the correct appraisal for this date system. He said to them, the court appraises the damage relative to a similar piece of land 60 times the size. They said to him, who says an opinion as you do, so that you can prove you are correct? He said to them, Shmuel is alive, and his court exists. You can ask him. They sent the question before Shmuel, together with the ruling of Eliezer Zaira. Shmuel said to them, he is saying well to you, because the halacha is as he says. The appraisal is relative to an area 60 times greater. Upon hearing this, the officials of the Exarch realized that he was a great man, and they released him.
Wow.
He should have just said, check the Talmud.
If you're ever in trouble with the law, you have to outlaw them.
You have to
outlaw that.
That's actually not untrue.
It's true.
It is what lawyers do.
Yeah. They're just like watching Lincoln Lawyer. Yeah. The Mishnah 55b, which we just passed, teaches that Rabbi Shimon says if the animal ate ripe produce, the owner pays the value of the ripe produce eaten. What is the reason for Rabbi Shimon's opinion? This, that the Merciful One states in the Torah, and it feed in another's field, which teaches that the court appraises the damage relative to another field. This statement applies specifically with regard to produce that requires a field to grow. For one's animal eating this produce, which do not require the field in order to ripen further, the animal's owner must pay their value as they are. So, what doesn't require a field? Like palm trees, they don't require a field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, nothing requires a field. You could grow tomatoes in a very small...
wheat requires a field.
But you could have, a little bit of wheat, right?
I mean...
But it wouldn't be very useful.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like having an orange tree. You could, have an orange tree and that's enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rav Huna Bar Hia says that Rabbi Yirmeiah Bar Abba says, Rav judged a practical halakha on a certain issue in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir, despite the fact that, in general, the halakha is not in accordance with his opinion. And furthermore, he ruled that the halakha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon, even though the case was his case, in that case, he was a minority opinion.
Woo!
Yeah, we got an order again, so go, Hayley.
Rav Huna Bar Hia explains, Rav judged a practical halakha in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir, as it is taught in a baraita, in the case of a field designated by its owner as a lien for his wife's marriage contract, which he subsequently wants to sell, if he wrote a document of sale to a first buyer, but his wife did not sign for him to endorse the sale, and subsequently the husband wrote a document for sale to the second buyer, and his wife signed for him, she thereby loses the lien of her marriage contract, since the sale is effective and she can no longer collect from the field. This is the statement of Rabbi Meir, which means it's not a win for the woman.
No, I think it is because she got to choose.
But she did sign it. You're right.
Well, she did get to choose.
Rabbi Yehuda says that she can say, I did it only to please my husband, but I did not mean it and never intended to forego my rights. What claim do you, the purchasers, have against me? Therefore, the lien is still in effect. Rav judged the case in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Meir.
Okay, so Rav Meir is good. It's a win for Rav Meir, perhaps.
Yeah, I guess.
And Rav ruled that the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. As we learned in the Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon says, if one's animal ate ripe produce, the owner pays the value of ripe produce eaten. Therefore, if it ate 1 seah of produce, he pays the value of 1 seah of produce. And if it ate 2 seah, he pays for 2 seah. Although Rabbi Shimon's opinion is the minority one, Rav ruled in accordance with it. So now it's it's going back to that idea of produce, just the produce itself, and not the whole 60 times 60 thing.
Yes. Mishnah. Oh, sorry.
My turn.
Your turn.
Mishnah. In a case of one who stacks his produce in another's fields without permission from the owner of that field, and an animal belonging to the owner of that field eats the produce, the owner of the field is exempt. And if the animal is injured by the produce, the owner of the stacks is liable.
Like a bunch of lettuce just falling down.
But if you stack them in the field with permission, the owner of the field is liable for damage caused to the produce.
All of that makes sense to me. All of that makes complete sense.
To the produce, not the animal.
Right.
Correct.
Okay. Go. You read it.
The Gemara asks, shall we say that that which we learned in the Mishnah is not in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi? As if the Mishnah were in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, doesn't he say a homeowner who gives another permission to bring items into his courtyard is not responsible for them unless the homeowner accepts upon himself to safeguard them? The Mishnah does not mention any such acceptance of responsibility. Rav Papa said, here we are dealing with the supervisor of the threshing floors, to whom people would entrust their produce. And since the supervisor says to the owner of the produce, bring it in and stack it. It is as though he had said to him, bring it in and I will supervise it for you. Okay, this is kind of like when they're like, well, they're talking specifically about a shepherd and the shepherd's assistant.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Mishnah. One who sends a fire, places a burning object in the hand of a deaf, mute, an imbecile, or a minor, is exempt for any damage later caused by the fire, according to human laws, but liable according to laws of heaven. If he sent it in the hand of a halakhically competent person, the halakhically competent person is liable, not the one who sent him.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. If one person brought the fire and one other person subsequently brought the wood, causing the fire to spread, the one who brought the wood is liable for any damage. Conversely, if one person first brought the wood and subsequently one person brought the fire, the one who brought the fire is liable since he was the one who actually kindled.
Nose goes.
Fire, like it's just on a stick, I guess. I don't know.
It's just nose goes.
It's he who smelt it rules.
Yeah.
Whose turn? Mine? Okay. If another came and fanned the flame, and as a result the fire spread and caused damage, the one who fanned it is liable, since he is the proximate cause of the damage. If the wind fanned the flames, all the people involved are exempt, except none of them since none of them caused the damage.
Okay,
fine.
Reish Lakish. Gemara. Reish Lakish says, in the name of Chizkiah, they taught that one who sends fire in the hand of a deaf, mute, an imbecile, or a minor is exempt only when he conveyed to him a glowing coal, and one of these people fanned it himself and set it alight. They taught one is exempt only when he conveyed.
Conveyed is given to him when he gave to him a glowing coal.
Not the idea of telling. Okay.
Yeah.
But if one conveyed a torch to a deaf, mute, imbecile, or minor, the one who gave it to him is liable. What is the reason for this halakha? The action of the one who gave it to him directly caused the fire to spread.
I feel like they keep reiterating the same. Like, the buck stops with the person who's halachically liable, right? Like, we get that.
So, a glowing coal, we don't expect that to, like, catch fire if you handle it properly. But a flaming torch is already on fire. Finish it, Stephen.
And Rabbi Yohanan says, even if he conveyed a torch to him, he is exempt. What is the reason? It is the tongues of the deaf mute that caused the damage, since torches do not cause fire on their own, and the one who gives dangerous objects to the deaf mute is not rendered liable for the damage caused unless he conveys branches to him.
Wait, so is this one of those arguments for gun rights?
Potentially.
That guns cause damage, not people.
So against gun rights. Against the rights of guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's...
All right. Well, we'll find out more another day.
Happy
Bye.
New Year.
Happy New Year.